In this world, gods and magicians exist, but only humans with magic can perceive true reality. In Italy, Japanese high schooler Godou is looking to return a stone tablet he inherited from his grandfather, who received the tablet from a woman in Italy during his travels around the world. A blonde girl named Erica confronts him and demands he hands over the tablet. Godou thinks he is being mugged when they are interrupted by a divine beast in the shape of a boar summoned by a rogue god. Immediately, Erica and her maid Ariana engage the rogue god, and she uses magic from the Hermes school of magic as well as her physical sword fighting abilities to battle the divine beast rampaging in Italy. A confused Godou flees the scene but runs into the mysterious Victor, who proclaims himself as undefeated in battle. When Godou states that he is returning the tablet, Victor laughs at him and allows him to hold onto the tablet. Erica is losing against the divine beast and is helped by Godou until it disappears. Later, she explains that the beast manifested due to a rogue god interfering on Earth, and that only humans with the capacity for magic can perceive the gods and their powers, while normal humans only see natural disasters, which means that Godou has some magical ability. Godou explains that when his grandfather was young, he dated a woman named Lucrezia who gave him the tablet, and Godou is trying to return it. Erica is a Knight of the Copper Black Cross, a mage order descended from the Knights Templar, so she cannot leave the tablet unattended, and so she will accompany him. Ariana drives the pair to the witch Lucrezia, and Godou is shocked to see how young she appears to be. She remembers the tablet, which depicts the story of Prometheus, but states that since the artifact attracts trouble, she gives it to Godou to look after it, stating that it is inevitable for Godou to have the tablet. That night, Godou realizes that Erica and Ariana get drunk very easily, as he watches Erica argue with a mask. An embarrassed Godou takes Erica to her room to sleep, but the witch Lucrezia locks him into the bedroom with the knight. The next morning, Erica confronts Godou for seeing her in an undressed state, but they are interrupted by the god Melkart, who has manifested on Earth. Erica asks Melkart, the god of the Phoenicians, to leave, but when he refuses to listen to her, Erica decides to engage the god. She tells Godou that as a Knight of the Copper Black Cross, her responsibility is to protect humans, and Godou decides to help. The night before, Lucrezia told him Prometheus stole from the gods and was punished, and that the tablet also has the ability to steal the power of gods. They see that Victor, or Varithragna, the Persian god of war and light, has appeared to fight Melkart, and Victor previously spared Godou to give Godou a better chance at fighting him. Varithragna revived Melkart to battle him, and Erica asks the two gods to avoid fighting to spare the island from destruction. They attack her for interfering, but she is saved by Godou. Godou decides to negotiate with Melkart, asking to team up with the Phoenician god to defeat Varithragna together, and the god agrees. Melkart protects the humans from Victor's attacks, but the Persian god uses his sword of cursed gold to break through Melkart's barrier, with the sword's ability of being able to pierce divinity. Godou announces he will use the tablet to defeat Victor, and Erica calls him a fool but kisses him for good luck. Using one of Victor's avatars imprisoned in the stone tablet, Godou attacks Varithragna and steals the Persian god's sword of cursed gold. Erica suddenly kisses him, and an energized Godou summons a field of swords using his stolen powers and cuts through Varithragna, defeating the Persian god. That night, Godou has a dream involving Pandora, who tells him he will be reborn as the god slayer Campione. He also wakes up with Erica in his bed. At breakfast, he tries to explain away what happened with his sister Shizuka, who is suspicious when Erica says that she kissed Godou and shared a bed with him. Godou avoids telling his sister about gods and magic, but Shizuka demands to speak with him after school. At school, he daydreams about the battle in Italy, where Erica's kiss gave him the power to use Varithragna's sword. And when Varithragna was defeated, he praised Godou and told him to stay alive. And he finds out Erica has transferred into his class, declaring herself Godou's future wife. The male students attack Godou out of jealousy, and Godou retreats but accidentally forces Yuri out of the classroom. At the end of the day, Yuri apologizes to him, calling him the Demon King, and a man named Amikasu arrives to introduce himself. Amikasu is from the committee that handles magical manners in Japan, and shrine maidens like Yuri help the government organization. They are aware he has become the 7th Campione and wanted to introduce themselves. They warn him that Erica is infamous for seducing and manipulating men, and that her organization, the Copper Black Cross, will attempt to recruit him. Later, when she appears in his bed, he confronts her and she asks Godou to come back to Italy so she can prove that her feelings are genuine. While in Italy, he is confronted by Athena, who says she is after the snake. When Godou tells her that he doesn't want to fight, she states that is impossible because he is a Campione, and he is barraged by owls, and she disappears. Erica arrives with magicians from Italy to witness a duel between Godou and Erica to test his strength. Erica summons her sword Cœur de Lion, and Godou displays his power by summoning abilities from Varithragna. And because Varithragna had 10 avatars, Godou is able to show off 10 different abilities. He manages to defeat Erica, who praises him, and their duel makes the Italian mages accept him. And Erika tells Godou that she truly is in love with him before giving him a gorgon medal. Back in Japan, Amaterasu warns Yuri about an upcoming major disaster involving Godou and asks for her help. Meanwhile, Athena has arrived in the city and calls her power. At school, the other girls do not think Godou is good enough for Erika, so he is shunned, and Yuri asks to speak with him. On the roof, Yuri asks if Godou has brought the Gorgonan into Japan, and Yuri is shocked to hear that Erika gave the medal to Godou. After seeing the medal, Yuri yells at Godou that he needs to be careful with his actions or he will cause the end of the world. She tells him of a prophecy centered in Japan, where the world will be sent into the underworld when a certain god is restored into power. The prophecy was from the Princess Alice of Heaven, who is never wrong. Erika arrives and states that as the new king, Godou will be strong enough to defeat the Gorgon, and she asks Yuri to use her maiden magic to identify the summoner of the Gorgon. Yuri tracks down the summoner to be Athena, who is in Japan. They track down Athena, who desires to battle with Godou to take back her snake, the Gorgon. Before they can fight back, Athena traps Erika in a barrier and says that although Godou is a good person, she will stop him, and the goddess kisses him. The magical kiss causes Godou to pass out, but before Athena kills him, Erika breaks out of her prison to defend him. Erika declares herself a knight of Godou Kusanagi, and duels Athena with her holy lance of Longinus while a girl named Liliana watches from afar. Sensing she is outmatched, Erika traps Athena and flees with Godou. Yuri runs to the battle to seal Athena with her magic, but is confronted by Liliana, who tells her that their plan won't work. Amaterasu arrives to trap Liliana and retreat with Yuri. Godou wakes up with Erika, and she offers him two choices. Either they let Athena find Yuri and the Gorgon and end the world, or he can use his powers to resist and fight the goddess. Although Godou feels he is being manipulated, he agrees, and to transfer the knowledge of how to defeat Athena, Erika kisses him. She communicates the strategy to defeat the Gorgon is tied to Medusa's backstory, where her mythology shares roots with Athena. Athena searches for the Gorgon and causes havoc across Japan. Although Amaterasu and Yuri are hiding with the Gorgon, they don't think they can hide from the goddess much longer, as Athena summons owls to search for her. Godou and Erika are too far from Yuri to arrive in time, so he tells the Shrine Maiden to think of him and say his name, so in battle he can use his borrowed powers to teleport to her. Soon, Athena arrives at Yuri's temple and demands that she hand over the Gorgon. When she breaks through the shrine's defenses, Liliana steps in to defend her but is blown away by Athena's power, who is able to take the Gorgon. Using the Gorgon, Athena casts a ritual to restore herself to her original origin, but finds that she is missing some of her powers. Yuri calls out Godou's name and is able to summon the Campione along with Erika. The restored Athena calls him a despicable demon king, and Godou summons his golden sword, asking Athena to leave peacefully. The goddess refuses, and Erika kisses him to transfer the rest of the knowledge of the rogue god Athena. Imbued by power and knowledge from Erika, Godou sends himself and Athena to a golden world of his own authority to challenge the goddess. Athena summons snakes to attack him, and Godou uses his sword to pierce through her divinity and reveal her true origin, that she was once the mother queen of the gods, the goddess of death, and the goddess of wisdom, until she was overthrown by male gods led by Zeus. Erika explains to Yuri that Godou is using his powers from Varithragna to cut through her divine backstory and weaken the goddess. However, Godou's sword runs out of power as Athena determines that he is using the powers of the Persian god of war. Godou summons Varithragna's steed to attack Athena, which traps the goddess enough so that he can use Erika's lance of Longinus to defeat Athena. A heavily wounded Athena asks to die by his hand, but Godou spares her and she disappears. A disappointed Erika reveals that she had planned for Godou to defeat Athena in Japan so that he could take the goddess's powers, but she is still happy with his victory. The next day, Godou tries to wake Erika up, and she tries to seduce him by asking him to help her dress. At the same time, Yuri has a frightening dream of Duke Vauban, another Campione, and that morning her little sister teases her about Godou and gives her embarrassing advice to make him hers. Yuri's imagination makes her think if she could be married to Godou, but at school she sees Erika on his lap and becomes frustrated with them. At gym class, Erika is destroying her competition in baseball, and Yuri speaks to Godou about how he sees Erika. Erika arrives to ask if they want to play, and Godou reveals he used to be a star baseball player until he injured his shoulder. Suddenly, Erika challenges Yuri to a baseball match, and to make the competition fair, Godou advises Yuri on how to swing her bat. However, after helping the Shrine Maiden, Yuri hits Godou with her bat and Erika's pitch hits him in the groin. They later have lunch on the roof, and Godou finds Yuri's food amazing, while Erika teases the Shrine Maiden that she is attempting to seduce Godou with her cooking. They also ask Yuri to buy a cell phone so that she could call for help easily in case the group gets into more trouble. Godou helps Yuri to buy a cell phone, and is a little embarrassed to exchange contact information as Godou tries to show Yuri how to use a phone. That night, Godou receives a phone call from Salvatore Doni, another Campione who calls Godou his best friend who had previously dueled Godou in the past. Salvatore warns Godou that the Campione Duke Vauban, who can turn people into salt with his magic eye, has arrived in Japan. That night, Liliana ambushes Yuri in the bath, and though she tries to call for help, Yuri is kidnapped and taken to Duke Vauban, who calls her his property. Amakasu informs Erika and Godou that Yuri has been kidnapped and asks them for help, stating that the Duke Vauban used to know Yuri in the past. Meanwhile, Yuri refuses to help the Duke with his plans to summon a rogue god and create chaos in Japan and states that she will kill herself to stop him. However, Vauban summons dead spirits, former opponents that have been resurrected to serve him, and reveals he can force to comply after death by using his powers from the god Osiris. Erika and Godou have tracked down the Vauban's hiding place, but Vauban dispatches his dead servants to attack them. One of them summons a golem, which Erika defeats by destroying the Eof of the golem, which is its weakness. Yuri speaks with Liliana, who feels guilty about kidnapping the Shrine Maiden, and is informed that Godou has arrived at the estate. When Yuri states that Godou is different from the other Campions, Liliana doesn't believe her. Erika and Godou fight through Vauban's defenses, preserving Godou's authorities for when he duels Vauban. When they confront Vauban, the older Campion informs him that he has owned Yuri for years, and would be willing to trade for her. Erika tells Vauban that the younger Campion Salvatore had wished Vauban and Godou to duel, so that the elderly Campion can be defeated and put in his place. Amused, Vauban determines that they will have a game between kings. Godou will take Yuri and must outrun Vauban until dawn. As they drive away, Erika tells Godou they won't be able to run far and that Godou needs to fight Vauban. And since Vauban is such an old Campion, his weaknesses are unknown to her. Erika also reveals she knows of Yuri's history with Vauban, that the Duke had used 30 girls including her in a sacrifice to summon a rogue god. Yuri wants to turn herself in, but her friends insist on protecting the Shrine Maiden. Vauban sends wolves to hunt them, and Erika summons swords to preserve Godou's energy against the Duke. However, this allows Vauban to track them down, and the older Campion arrives with his army of dead servants. Godou uses his horse Avatar of the Sun to destroy Vauban's servants, but the horse is eaten by Vauban, who has turned into a wolf man. Realizing that he can't risk using his other avatars until he knows of Vauban's weaknesses, Godou retreats with Yuri. Erika also retreats but is confronted by Liliana, and Yuri realizes that Godou is hurt. She tries to heal Godou, but he reveals that Campion cannot be affected by magic from the outside, and Yuri realizes this is why Erika kissed him during battle. Yuri suddenly has a premonition, and realizes a hint towards the Duke's weakness. Erika and Liliana duel, and Erika asks if Liliana is being forced to serve Vauban because the Liliana she knew would not have stood by his tyranny. Liliana reveals just as Erika is promised to her king Godou. Liliana's grandfather promised her to Duke Vauban. Yuri and Godou arrive to try to stop them from fighting, and Erika stops Liliana by teasing her about a romantic novel she wrote and hid in her desk. The group confront Duke Vauban, and Liliana resigns from her servitude with the Campion. Vauban turns into his wolfman form, and using Yuri's hint, Erika kisses Godou to imbue him with knowledge of the Duke's weakness and imbue him with power. Godou sends himself and Vauban to his golden world, and he reveals Vauban is using the stolen powers of the god Apollo, and through Godou's words of power pierces through Vauban's divine authority. Although Godou has defeated Vauban's authority from Apollo, he still has his dead servants. Erika and Liliana defend them, while Yuri realizes a possible shared connection between Osiris and Apollo. To pass him her knowledge, Yuri kisses Godou and Godou sends them back into his golden world. There, using his newfound knowledge from Yuri, Godou defeats the dead servants. This forces Vauban to use his authority from the weather deities, and using Owl Lightning attack he attacks Godou. In a last gambit, Godou uses the goat avatar, which is empowered by the wool of his allies. As Vauban prepares a lightning attack, Godou uses the united wool of Erika, Liliana, Yuri, and the imprisoned dead spirits to crush Vauban. The Duke, however, survives and prepares to attack. But as dawn has arrived, he decides to concede to Godou. Liliana informs him that his goat avatar drains energy from his allies, and Erika uses this to steal a kiss from Godou. To celebrate his victory and for their summer vacation, the group go to the beach and the hot springs with Lucrezia, where they play volleyball and enjoy the baths. Erika handcuffs Godou and attempts to kidnap him out at sea, but he escapes. Unfortunately, Godou runs into the rest of the group in the hot springs and Yuri scolds him for being perverted. Godou escapes from the castle that night while everyone is sleeping, and Athena appears informing him that there will be a battle coming soon and she will be excited to take part. She takes him to an island with a beam of green light. Meanwhile, Salvatore has broken into the castle at Napoli and he finds a pillar with divine energy, the seal of Hera. Lilian arrives to ask that Salvatore do nothing. As with the Gorgon revealing itself in the spring, there seems to be larger forces at work. Salvador ignores Liliana and uses his invincible blade to cut through the seal, and a divine beast in the form of a dragon is summoned. Liliana watches as the dragon is struck down by rogue god Perseus, the legendary dragon killer. Liliana asks him to spare the dragon, which is tied to the life of the island. Perseus starts to kill the dragon, but Athena and Godou arrives to defend it. Liliana explains to Godou that Perseus is a mortal enemy of mother goddesses and dragons, as Athena consumes the dragon herself. Godou asks the two gods not to fight on the island to spare humans from the conflict, and Liliana retreats with Godou warning him that Perseus now has interest in Godou. Liliana asks that Godou defeat Perseus to spare the island from destruction, but when he explains he lacks the power to do so, Liliana is shocked to hear how he gets power from others through kisses. Perseus tracks them down, and Liliana defends Godou, but her swordplay is outmatched. Godou summons the boar so he can retreat with Liliana, but Perseus uses his Pegasus to catch up to them. Before Godou can use further avatars, Perseus shoots him with an arrow. Before Perseus can kill him, Athena intervenes, claiming that Godou is her prey. Perseus decides to retreat and battle Godou once the Campione has recovered. Athena also disappears, telling Liliana she will be the one to kill Godou. Godou has a dream of Pandora cheering him on, and he wakes up in a hospital with Liliana. Liliana's maid Karen arrives and tells him that Liliana watched over him all night. She causes misunderstandings, which makes Liliana think that Godou is trying to create a harem. They return to the mansion to strategize, and to determine how Perseus was able to seal Godou's authorities from Varithrakna. They determine there might be a connection between Perseus and the Persian god of war. While Godou explores the balcony, Karen asks Liliana to become closer to Godou, as her organization, the Bronze Black Cross, has become weaker compared to their rival organization, the Copper Black Cross, due to Erica's closeness with Godou. An embarrassed Liliana runs away. On the balcony, Godou finds Lilian's romance novel, and Liliana threatens to kill him after he starts to read some chapters out loud. Suddenly, Athena appears and tells him to fight Perseus. Godou asks if she has information on Perseus' weaknesses, but Liliana refuses her help when Athena asks for a favor in return. Later, Liliana scolds Godou to be more careful and not owe favors to gods. That night, the two eat ice cream and they research the history of Perseus, but Liliana is unable to concentrate because she keeps thinking about her romantic novel and a relationship with Godou. Godou finds himself paralyzed, and Liliana has poisoned him so that she can meet with Athena alone for information. At the beach, Liliana meets with Athena and has a vision about Perseus' identity from Athena. Godou arrives, and Athena reveals another hint, that Perseus has an important ancestor connected with the Persian gods. Meanwhile, Salvador has ambushed and tied up the rest of the group so that Godou can fight Perseus alone and grow more powerful, although they have received knowledge from Athena. Liliana does not have an efficient method of passing it on to Godou, but she can't bring herself to kiss him because her first kiss needs to be with her true love. Since Godou doesn't want to force the issue, he escapes the mansion, but Liliana quickly catches up. He later explains that he has no wish to force Liliana after her servitude to Vauban. Perseus finds them and brings Godou to duel with him, with a crowd of spectators. Godou uses his authorities from Varithrakna to fight against the rogue god. But although the fight is even, Perseus disables Godou's authorities and strikes him with an arrow. Liliana arrives and kisses him, offering her loyalty to Godou. In exchange, she asks him to kiss her multiple times, and through their kisses she passes on her knowledge. Godou goes to confront Perseus and takes him into his golden world, revealing his identity as Mithra, the sun god worshipped by the ancient Romans who was the former master of Varithrakna. Godou uses his words of power to cut through Perseus's identity and his false identity as a Greek hero. Using a giant sword, Godou cuts through Perseus's bow and Mithra's authority, but Perseus is able to pin Godou with his sword. Using his camel avatar from Varithrakna, Godou is able to repel Perseus, but when Liliana tries to help, Perseus is able to control her with his authority as a fabled hero, since priestesses like her are supposed to aid heroes. However, Liliana is able to break through his authority and strike Perseus. He compliments their use of the power of love and is pinned by Liliana, and Godou uses his boar avatar to defeat Perseus. Liliana goes to heal Godou but hesitates to kiss him, and Athena kisses him instead to Liliana's despair. And later, a defeated and injured Perseus is eaten by Athena. At hospital, Erica and Yuri arrive and Erica berates Godou for taking another mistress. Back in Japan, Yuri is informed she is losing Godou to the Italian mages, and she needs to strengthen her connection to the Campione. Liliana transfers into their school, and Godou's sister Shizuka yells at him for bringing another girl from Italy. In the tea ceremony club at school, fellow student Ina introduces herself and promises her loyalty to Godou. She calls the other girls his mistresses, and Godou insists that they are all friends. Liliana questions what Ina wants, and Ina asks to speak with Erica privately. Yuri and Liliana's mood seem to be down, as after school Erica takes Godou out on a first date. She takes him shopping where they buy lingerie, eat food together, and then later have ice cream at a park. Meanwhile at the shrine, Liliana tries to ask Yuri to help her stop Erika, but Yuri states that they must respect Godou's wishes. At the end of the date, Godou and Erika share a moment together, where Erika tells Godou he should be more considerate of his feelings to her and the other girls, and Ina appears determined to duel Erika. In the duel, Ina reveals that she needs to eliminate Erika as a rival. Since Godou is a Japanese Campione, he should have a Japanese mistress, but Godou steps in to stop them. Ina reveals herself as an Advent mage, who can use magic without relying on a rogue god's power, and Godou is sent away to the astral plane by Ina's grandfather, the hero Susano. And in the astral plane, Susano introduces himself to Godou. Meanwhile, Athena crashes through Shizuka's roof. Shizuka curses her brother for ditching her, and questions Athena on her relationship with her brother and misunderstands the goddess as another girl interested in him. Their duel now in the astral plane. Erika and Ina fight over Godou as Ina insists that as a Japanese Campione, Godou should only have Japanese friends and companions. Godou has refreshments with Susano, but he starts to have headaches. Susano explains that he is starting to be filled with memories of the universe, and he jokingly challenges Godou to a duel. He reveals that Ina is defeating Erika, but she has become possessed by the sword Ama no Murakumo. Ina allows the sword to possess her completely, which allows her to strip Ursha of her magic. Liliana and Yuri follow the strange magic residue to the location of the duel, and Amakusa arrives to tell them strange things are happening across the globe. Meanwhile, Godou steps in to save Erika. He takes them to his golden world, and uses his words of powers to reveal the sword's origin as Susano's weapon. Outmatched, the sword retreats with Ina as Godou tries to take care of an injured Erika. Godou tries to transport them back to the human world, but finds himself unable to. Erika reveals that the air of the astral plane has poisoned her, and that she will be dying soon. She tells Godou to take care of Liliana and Yuri, and confesses that she truly loved Godou and wanted to share a future with him. Godou has a vision of Varithragna, who reminds him that he is a powerful Campione, and Godou fully absorbs the last of Varithragna to gain the authority over youth. They kiss and he is able to imbue Erika with protection and heal her. Ame no Murakumo arrives to fight Godou, and Erika is able to use her imbued power to fight against the sword. Godou is able to extract Ina from the sword, and she thanks him. Suddenly the astral plane cracks, and they are summoned into the human world, where a dark version of Athena, the goddess Metis, absorbs the sword. If Metis swallows Athena, she would have the power to destroy the world. Since Godou is low on power, they ask him to run away with Athena as the rest of the group fight Metis together. Amakusa takes them to Mount Fuji, the most sacred place in Japan, and he reveals that Athena has lost her powers and memories to Metis. Erika uses her memories of Godou to give her strength, while Yuri and Ina trap Metis so that the two Italian knights can attack her. Hiding in the shrine, Athena asks Godou if she is a god. Metis finds them, and Godou swears to defend Athena because he is a god slayer. Godou orders Metis to go back to being Athena's snake and uses his authorities to fight her, but he is outmatched by her power and she is able to strike Athena. An injured Athena grabs Metis, giving Godou enough time to summon his horse avatar to attack, but it is not enough and Athena is absorbed by Metis, allowing Metis to transform into her full form. The group arrives and Yuri kisses him, passing the knowledge of their plan. Godou takes them to his golden world, and Ina kisses him and she is able to take back her sword from Metis. Liliana kisses him, and Godou uses his words of power to determine her motives, that she wants to destroy the world in revenge against Zeus. Finally, Erika kisses him, giving him enough power to resist Metis' attacks and separate Athena from Metis. Before Metis can reabsorb Athena, Athena kisses him and he is able to combine the swords in his world into a massive sai, allowing him and Athena to defeat Metis together. And with Metis eliminated, the world returns to normal. Athena thanks Godou, and he realizes that this was Athena's plan all along. The girls help an exhausted Godou, amazed that he is able to receive a goddess's blessing. Later they all fawn over Godou over lunch, and Shizuka is sick of all the girls obsessed with her brother. And this is all for this video. Make sure to subscribe if you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.